Hi guys, there's a psychosis, a mass hysteria, a mass paranoia gripping British society at the moment. And I should clarify, it's not so much British, but English society, because we're not seeing the same thing in Scotland, Wales or Northern Ireland, where right-wing politicians, commentators and the media are convincing people that they should be living in absolute terror. And this is manifesting. And here is an example of somebody who claims to have voted Labour, backed the Labour Party, and now wants Nigel Farage to be Prime Minister out of a deep embedded fear. This is insane stuff. Have a listen.
You taxed all your life, you're part of the community.
I'll tell you what makes me feel, really. Doesn't bear thinking about. Doesn't bear. So I'll tell you why. Labour government has lied, and still friggin' lying. And I'm sorry. I went from a Labour supporter who used to deliver letters for Richard Phillipson to go into reform to, as far as I'm concerned, safety on the streets. Put the veterans first, not immigrants. I just think, my granddad was a Labour councillor. He would honestly, thank God he's not to see what's happening in this bloody country. And I'm all for the free world and everything, but what do? We need Nigel Farage in power to be the Prime Minister. We do.
Okay, she said a few things here. First of all, this idea, we should be looking after our veterans, not our immigrants. Okay. Can't you look after both? Why does it have to be one or the other? What do you think Nigel Farage is going to do for veterans? What do you think Nigel Farage is going to do for British people? This is in Sunderland. There used to be a huge car industry there. Nigel Farage went there along with the Brexiteers and said, don't worry, we'll vote to leave the European Union, everything will be fine. And now Sunderland is under a lot of stress because of Brexit. And people want Nigel Farage to be the Prime Minister. She says here that she voted for Labour. She campaigned for the Labour Party. I don't know if that's true. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. But she now wants Nigel Farage in charge. Nigel Farage is not the panacea. Nigel Farage is not the Messiah. He's not on your side. He's good at cosplaying as working class, but he's not on your side.
We do.
Because you see, I believe we are a Judeo-Christian country.
Yeah.
Okay. This individual, I believe, is a political activist. This is not normal people do not describe themselves as Judeo-Christian. Judeo-Christian is an invented term that has come from the United States, basically. You know, it's Abrahamic religion. Well, they're excluding one of the Abrahamic religions, of course. There's like Judeo-Christian. The Jewish community in Britain is extremely small. If you want to say Britain is a Christian country, although it's not, but if you want to call it a Christian country, that makes more sense. But this is the sort of rhetoric we're hearing from the United States, a Judeo-Christian country. The UK is not a Judeo-Christian country. It's more a secular country than anything else. This is extremely, and I've mentioned this before, a lot of this culture war crap is being imported from the United States. And here's a perfect example of it.
And J.D. Vance said yesterday that we're committing societal suicide, and I completely and utterly...
Yes, J.D. Vance, who's part of this administration that has suspended human rights, that is sending people without due process to a gulag in another country.
We agree with that. I believe that as a Christian, I am a born-again Christian. That's our foundation. We need to concentrate on it and we need to pursue it because it informs everything. Without that fundamental foundation, everyone thinks everyone is selfish. Everyone thinks that whatever they want or desire or think or want to do, they can.
I always find it fascinating that the born-again Christians are huge supporters of Donald Trump, the sex pest, the lying charlatan. What would Jesus say about somebody like Donald Trump? But for some strange reason, the born-again Christians admire Donald Trump.
can do. There is no filter, you know, and it's chaos. So what we see out there is chaos. That's how I feel about this city and all of our cities.
Ladies.
You know, Chris Rea said at one point on an ancient album that we were going to hell in a handcart, and he was right.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for speaking to us today from the Gunners. You got me choked up already. I think I need a stiff drink. You're already going there, Dawn, but thank you so much.
I'm thinking about my daughter. I'm thinking about my daughter. I'm thinking about next door's neighbour's daughter. You know, and nowhere safe. I shouldn't have to be in the house after 6 o'clock at night because I don't feel safe.
Okay, ladies,
This is a disgrace. You have right-wing commentators, you have right-wing media outlets, you have right-wing politicians pouring poison into people's ears, convincing them that at every corner there is going to be some immigrant who's going to jump out and do horrible things to you. This is the psychosis. Is this the reality? Of course it's not. But people have been convinced that crime is out of control, although if you look at the statistics, crime has been down over the last 10 years. But if you listen to the likes of GB News, if you listen to the likes of Farage, crime is on the rise. Britain is no longer safe. There's this constant drip, drip, drip of society is collapsing. That the country is completely out of control. It's no longer safe to go out. And why are they doing this? Because they need to present you the alternative. They need to present you the Messiah. The Messiah, of course, being Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage will fix all of this. Nigel Farage is on our side. Nigel Farage will grow the economy. Nigel Farage will end crime. In order to get Farage into power, you need two things. You need fear and you need a government not fixing the problems. And unfortunately, at the moment, the government isn't really fixing the problems, or if they are not communicating this. And the media, and it's not just GB News, it's not just Talk TV, it's also the likes of Sky News, the BBC, ITV and Channel 4. They're also pushing this fear factor. It's irrational. Are there crimes being committed? Yes, there are, but there has always been crime. It's not out of control, no matter what these people say. Look at the statistics. Are there issues related to justice? Of course there are. Are there enough police? Of course there aren't. That needs to be fixed. But people should not live in this fear, because the only one who benefits from the fear is the far right and Farage. This is really concerning, because you have people here who used to live tranquil lives, but they've been convinced by right-wing commentators and the media that they should be afraid to go outside their door. They should be afraid to leave they should be living in fear for their children, for their neighbours' children, for their community. Nigel Farage does not care about these people. He has demonstrated that on a number of occasions. And if he gets into power, he's not going to look after them. He's going to fill the pockets of the richest in society and use culture wars and stuff like that to remain in power. Don't worry, the problem of immigration will not disappear with Nigel Farage. It will be blamed on someone else. All the numbers are coming. All these immigrants, it's not our fault. It's the blob, or it's the civil service, or it's the media, or something like that. In the same way as Donald Trump is doing. This is concerning. And it needs to be called out. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.